Welterweight bout here. Joaquin Buckley coming in at minus 200 against Alex Morono, sitting at plus 165. Over under 2.5 rounds, plus 160 or plus 140 for the over, minus 170 for the under. Alex Morono coming back into action, 4-1 in his last 5, and Joaquin Buckley 3-2. His move down to welterweight has looked pretty good so far. He was a 185er for a while, and then decided to move down to 170. It looks like that's a good spot for him there. You see the reach advantage for Joaquin Buckley. He's got those long arms, 5'10" though, and the dude is still jacked at 170. I mean, he's got a good frame, I would say, for 170, even being 5'10". Southpaw striker for Joaquin, orthodox for Alex Morono. It's an interesting one because Morono, he has the least imposing figure, I would say, out of like any welterweight. I mean, the guy, I don't know how you can be in a gym like that long and like not build any muscle. I don't know. I've always thought about this when I look at, UFC fighters that aren't looking like Joaquin Buckley. I mean, it works. Alex Morono has had a great UFC career. We saw him win 4 in a row and then lose to Santiago Ponzinibbio in a fight that he was winning. He got knocked out in the 3rd round. Then comes back and beats Tim Means round 2 sub. He's got that BJJ in his back pocket, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. Wondering if he's going to have to use it in this one against Joaquin Buckley, but probably a good scrap here. Who are you thinking in this one?
Yeah, it's kind of tough because like Buckley's always dangerous at any point in fights because he swings with ill intent and he has a lot of power. But, you dive a little deeper into it. He looks good at 170. He's in shape, but his last win was Andre Fiallo. And that doesn't really age that well considering Fiallo's now on a 4-fight KO losing streak. Does not look good at all. From the moment he gets hit, he's just not the same guy anymore. And then before that, he loses to Chris Curtis, which Chris Curtis is good. And then he loses to Nasruddin Imavov, who's also good. But it tells me like that Chris Curtis and Nasruddin Imavov boxing style can give Buckley problems. And I think it's because he's so good at closing the distance and just coming straight forward on a straight line, throwing that big shot, that against guys that move well and are good with their boxing, they can kind of slip and rip them to the body and come upstairs and kind of get off on them that way. And I see the same thing happening with Morono at times in this fight. I think Morono's got really technical boxing. He doesn't hit the hardest. He's not getting all these KOs in the UFC by any means, but he does rack up the strike count. He does land with pretty good accuracy. And overall, if he has to and he gets in some kind of trouble, he's got some grappling in his back pocket. I mean, he is a black belt. He owns his own gym, and I'm pretty sure he's a jiu-jitsu teacher at that gym. Just really, really well-rounded mixed martial artist. I kind of want to give him a pass on that Ponzinibbio loss too, because he came basically off the couch, short notice, I believe, was winning the fight, should have won the fight, and gets put out in the 3rd round when he got a little bit tired. Normally, I'd say Morono has a pretty damn good gas tank. Coming off the couch like that, he'd kind of get a pass from me making it such a good fight until he got finished against Ponzinibbio. And if he would have beat Ponzinibbio, he'd be on a 6-fight winning streak against guys like Donald Cerrone, Matthew Simmelsberger even. Guys like that. So he's fighting at a high level. And, Buckley is too, but, he's got a couple of losses in there to that technical boxing style. And as an underdog, it's kind of hard to ignore Alex Morono betting-wise. For the pick, I'm going to take him here. I think Buckley maybe, can't land that big shot early, start slowing down a little bit, and I could see Morono really putting the volume on here. So I'll take a shot on the dog with Alex Morono.
Yeah, I like Joaquin moving down to 170. I mean, you look at the fights against, Chris Curtis, packs big power. He gets knocked out in that one. Against Imavov. Imavov is a massive 185er. And it was just clear in that one, like Buckley was outgunned, but he still showed like he's a dog. I mean, he came back in that 3rd round and really left it all out there. So that's encouraging. But then the win against Fiallo, it's like, does it take much to knock out Andre Fiallo at this point? I mean, Tim Means just racked up a TKO win. So I don't know where to put him at in this one. At minus 200, I don't like it because, like you said, Morono has been around for a while. This is a smart fighter. The only thing that scares me is the chin. It could possibly be, somewhat of a liability. Knocked out by Ponzinibbio, knocked out by Cass Williams. A couple of guys that hold big power. Then he also got knocked down by Matthew Semmelsberger. I would think going into this one, if he doesn't get knocked out, he could probably win a decision just based off of volume. But we've seen the volume of Joaquin, kind of improve over the years. Both guys have a positive striking differential. Joaquin will maybe even mix in a takedown, but like you said, I mean, Morono's got the BJJ. So I don't know if that's the smartest thing to do. I would basically chalk it up to a dog or pass at this one. I've definitely seen the value on Morono because of the experience and just the ability to win fights. And Buckley, I don't want to say has like bad fight IQ, but at some points it's just like a little bit wild. For the pick, I'll go with Morono with you just as a dog or pass type of situation. Minus 200 on Buckley, I'm not really liking. If you were to take him, I would probably take him by knockout because he does have that big power going down to 170 from 185. He's going to carry it there. So for the pick, I'll go with Morono as a dog or pass.